electric knife. Now, here's the story. We just got this back in stock.
Yep.
It's been out for a long time. We've got it on sale, and we've got 3 flex pays added to that. So
that's awesome.
Knives.
I'll tell you what, electric knives have been around for a while. We all know them with the twin oscillating blades. They go back and forth. They hook together just like this. Now, I'll tell you, what we've done at Kitchen HQ is we actually supply you with 2 sets. You have one set that's labeled, and I'll show you right here on the blade, it's labeled carving, okay? The other blade, which I'll show you in a second, it says bread on it. So for bread or for carving. And you know, everybody thinks of an electric knife. Back when I was a kid, my parents had one, okay? And they loved it at the holidays for doing the turkey or a ham or a roast. You always pulled out the electric knife during the holidays, but now with the new HQ electric knife, it's not just for the holidays anymore. I'll tell you, but you know, I used to watch my dad do this. Okay, and he used to cut it 1 slice at a time, right off the breast, right?
Did he really?
And the turkey was so dry. It was so, it always was. But what I found out over the years is the proper way to do a turkey breast is to carve the breast off the meat like this, okay? And I'm gonna get down in here, and with this knife, you can't do this. It's hard to do this with a normal, everyday, traditional butcher's knife, okay? But I want you to see this, because now, when you place that whole breast out on a plate, and then you start up your electric knife, and I'm gonna pull the cord around here, watch this, because the difference when you carve turkey the right way compared to the wrong way, I mean, the difference is absolutely amazing. And when I pull one of these out of here, I want you to see the difference. You can see the juices. You can see the texture. It's the grain of the meat that makes the difference when you're eating turkey. And I've learned that over the years, okay?
This is so good, by the way.
Isn't that delicious?
Oh my gosh.
Now, the bread knife, you'll notice, looks different on the tip, okay? And I switched this one out. For carving breads, or for slicing breads, fresh, soft, even crusty bread, it's like the weight of the knife does the slicing for you. All you do is place it on the bread, and it does the work. And you can slice as thin or as thick as you like. You can buy a fresh, soft loaf of bread in your supermarket, take it home, and make that loaf of bread last all summer long. Look how thin that is. Or you can do more with an electric knife than you can do by hand with a regular knife. I mean, for your baking, for cooking, if you're making your stuffings, okay, you can actually take that and carve, and eat soft angel food cake right out of the oven. Again, it does weight. I don't have to move the knife because it's doing the movement for me.
And how often have you done a really nice meal and then you totally hack the heck out of the bread and it looks terrible? People are like, oh, nice meal, but the bread looks terrible.
Look at this.
We're gonna say hi to 2 people.
Oh, okay.
You ready? Oh, bagels. Of course, cutting bagels in the morning. And you never cut a bagel straight.
No.
Never in a million years can you cut a bagel straight.
Look at that.
Let's say hi to Russell in Georgia. He picked up his special. Hi, Russell. You're on the air. Welcome to HSN.
Hello there. How are you?
We are great. How are you today?
I am in love with that mandolin.
Why are you in love with it, Russell?
Well, I recently had open heart surgery.
Okay.
And my doctor said, you got to quit eating grease. I'm a Southern boy. You know, if it's not deep fried in 40-weight motor oil, I can't eat it. So
yes, sir.
I'm doing a lot of baking and things like that. But I wanted to cut my vegetables and potatoes and things up in thin slices so I could bake them more easily. And so I've done a lot of research on the mandolin.
Yes.
Today I walked into the house and just turned the television on, and all of a sudden there you guys were with a perfect mandolin, and I thought, that thing does everything I want it to do. And I'm going to tell you, I have flown airplanes that didn't have as many gizmos on as some of these mandolins. This mandolin you have, it's simple, it's easy to use, and boy, it's ineffective. You're doing a good job. I love this show. Thank you so much.
Good.
Well, that's so wonderful.
Well,
and Russell, you know, good for you to really take control of your health too, because no one's going to do it unless you do it, and that's wonderful, and that's going to help you out immensely with your new health goals.
Well, thanks. It's good talking to both of us.
Thanks so much,
You too,
Russell.
Russell. Thanks for calling us. Yeah, great point, right?
Yeah,
His doctor's
absolutely.
like, Russell,
I know.
stop eating all the fried
It's
foods.
time to get healthy.
Get
It's
some
time to do
vegetables in
something
you.
good for yourself,
Look at
right?
that, baby.
Fruits and vegetables. And here's something that's tough to do even with the sharpest butcher's knife, okay?
kidding.
Splitting a pineapple in half. It's perfect though for a party. You can carve this out. You can make your own little fruit bowls out of these.
Well, you know,
Perfect
watermelon in
little
the
displays.
summertime.
Hey,
Nothing better than watermelon in the summertime.
Watermelon in the summertime,
Oh,
you can't
please.
beat this.
This
And
spring,
here's a little
summer.
tip for cutting watermelon, okay? This is something that I've learned over the years too. When you're cutting watermelon, the first thing most people do is they split the watermelon and then they start making wedges, right? Here's a little tip for you. I'm gonna set this aside.
Okay.
Next time you carve a watermelon, try it like this. Those wedges are so, especially if you have kids, they're really tough to eat because they get messy. You get that rind that gets up on your cheeks, okay? Am I wrong?
No, you're
So
totally
if you put your watermelon flat down on a cutting board like this, use your electric knife by Kitchen HQ, you cut through it one way like this, turn it this way, we're gonna line these up, and now I'm gonna cut it this way.
Oh, see,
And
now with a knife, that would be hard to do.
with a knife, it would be very hard to do.
Yeah.
But now, the kids, when you do this at home, and here, I'll do, just to save some time here, let me do one more cut. Because I tell you, once you use an electric knife, it's almost like you'll never go back to another knife again.
And what blade
But
are
this
you
is how
using
you
to do
serve
that?
this. This is the carving blade, okay? But now the kids can reach in here and grab their
isn't
own
that
little
perfect?
watermelon popsicles.
It's like a little popsicle. We're going to say hi to Elizabeth in
Isn't
New
that
York.
cool?
She also got the mandolin.
Oh, great.
Miss Elizabeth, you're on with John and Suzanne. Thank you for joining us on HSN.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Elizabeth.
Doing quite well, thank you.
Very good.
I'm just so excited to receive my mandolin, but I'm just looking at the electric knife. I'm thinking I have to make another call. It's wonderful.
You're like, wait a minute, I kind of need that. Well, what do you love most about that
do.
mandolin, Elizabeth? Why did you pick the mandolin up?
Well, I had one previous by another maker, which we're not going to name, and it broke within a week, and I was upset.
Yeah.
And it was so heartbreaking because you can make it into different salads and make different things with it. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted another one, and yours looks like the best quality I've seen in such a long time.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Elizabeth, once you use a mandolin for the first time, isn't it like, it's like you want one. You always have to
like
have
night
one
and
after
day.
that.
Yeah.
You need one.
Yeah.
Forget the want. You need one.
Right.
Until
right.
you use one, you just don't know how useful they really are. And I got to tell you, kind of like an electric knife too. Once you
That's
start
true.
using an electric knife, I mean, you won't even go in your knife drawer anymore. You
Why
just keep
would
this
you?
plugged
Why do
in.
you need
I'm
to?
watching you. I'm thinking because we started the keto diet and we eat a lot of good meat.
Sure.
And it's so hard to cut sometimes.
Yes.
I'm thinking I should go get one.
Yeah. Well, Elizabeth, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you go so you can order your knives before they sell out.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much for joining us and enjoy that mandolin.
Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
You too, honey. Take care. And
And,
here's the
you know-
scoop. Well, show them once again in
Here-
case someone's
yeah,
wondering.
here's what you
Give
get.
them the two blades they're getting.
Okay, that's what I'm going to show you.
Okay.
It comes with the stand. It sits right on your countertop.
that's
So you can
nice.
leave it right out on your
Oh, that's
countertop.
lovely.
It holds the electric knife. You can even, at home, what I do is I put the cord right back in here. It sits right up next to the backsplash. On the other part of the cutting board, this is where your blades store. And right here, this one's labeled bread knife, okay? And this is the one I used earlier for slicing that soft bread, okay? And this one on this side is for your carving, and this one is labeled carving right here on the blade. So you never have any confusion on which one to use for which. Listen, if you have a fisherman in your life that fillets fish, this is the best fillet knife, an electric fillet knife. And
Great idea.
The one I use is the carving one for filleting fish, okay?
Okay.
I use it all the time at home. What's great about it is stores right there on your tabletop or countertop, so it's always there out
don't lose
ready
it.
and handy, ready to use.
Okay, and while we're here, we have three colors. We have the silver, we have the red, and we have the black. The silver, I'm down to the final 200. So if you want the silver, here's the black, here's the red, matches back to the mandolin if you're gonna be nice and coordinated.
Oh.
And I think, John, you made such a good point. It's like you don't know how often you'll use this until you get it at home and start using it.
Yeah.
And you're like, why would I pull out between the mandolin today's special
Right.
and this?
Well,
I
the
don't think
mandolin's
you'd-
great for your
but think about it,
fruits.
you'd never pull out a traditional knife.
No, you
Why
won't.
would you?
I know. I know,
mean,
that's the
seriously,
thing.
all your dicing and slicing's done.
Yep.
And now your heavy duty stuff's cut with this.
Well, all your meats,
Yeah.
and you can do cheeses with an electric knife. With the mandolin, it's great for your fruits and vegetables. I got to tell you what, though, this is a pork loin all right? This bacon wrapped, you wouldn't know it. It just looks kind of burnt, but that's burnt bacon.
That's beautiful.
As I'm going through this with the electric knife, you notice I'm not sawing?
Yeah.
I don't have to
And
really
it's
get in there.
not tearing up the top.
I want you to see this. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
That bacon is crispy, and look, it peels right off of there.
I want to eat that right now.
I know.
I just want to
I
eat
can
that right
smell
now.
it. The smell is out of this world
so
right now.
good.
But here's something fun. After dinner, all right, you can grab a tub of ice cream like this, all right? And here, I'm just gonna use this. I'm gonna clean this real quick. I'm gonna make you a quick dessert.
Are you
because
really?
look, you can actually cut right through frozen ice cream with your electric knife,
Okay.
container and all, okay? You can do, on a container like this, you can do probably 3 or 4 pads like this. And then if you have some chocolate chip cookies at home, what you're gonna do is you're gonna place this between 2 cookies,
Oh,
and then you're
hello.
gonna take that wrapper, and I'm gonna cut it with the knife just a little bit here, just so I can cut through the wrapper, and then you're gonna take that wrapper and just peel that right off of there.
Oh, hello.
And you've got your
On
own
that note-
homemade ice
on
cream
that
sandwiches.
note. Wow. Okay, real
And you can
quick.
do that with your knife.
Do we need to sharpen the blades at all?
No, and you can if you want to, okay? But because you're carving meats with it, you'll very rarely have to sharpen this knife. I do suggest a good diamond sharpener if you want to sharpen the knife.
So you can sharpen
You
it, which is
can
great.
sharpen it
Okay.
if you want to.
All right, John.
You'll probably never have to,
We
though.
gotta wrap it up, buddy. Thank you. We're gonna see you next hour.
I'm gonna make a remoulade here.
You're not going very far, I know that. He'll be back next hour with another look at our today's special. And speaking of it, that's what our 2 callers